Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Prospect Monroe and I'm back with another video. Today is it day 8? Day 9 of Vlogmas. See, I'm losing track of time. But it's day 9 of Vlogmas. And today I didn't go anywhere today. I was a little bit under the weather. I didn't even go to work. I stayed home and got everything under control and relaxed a little bit because I've been feeling like really tired lately and lethargic. And so today is going to be a real light video. I wanted to talk about a couple of shows that I've been watching. And I binged watched the show Harlem. It's an Amazon original. I love that show. I feel like that show is about my life. And it's about, it's 4 single black women in Harlem. And it talks about dating and, society standards for. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Prospect Monroe, and I'm back with another video. Today is it day 8? Day 9 of Vlogmas. See, I'm losing track of time. But it's day 9 of Vlogmas. And today I didn't go anywhere today. I was a little bit under the weather. I didn't even go to work. I stayed home and got everything under control and relaxed a little bit because I've been feeling like really tired lately and lethargic. And so today is going to be a real light video. I wanted to talk about a couple of shows that I've been watching. And I binged watched the show Harlem. It's an Amazon original. I love that show. I feel like that show is about my life. And it's about, it's 4 single black women in Harlem. And it talks about dating and, society standards for black women. And so the show touches upon how, in life, young girls are taught to believe in this fairy tale about, falling in love and getting married. And when we realized that, it wasn't necessarily the case, we started focusing on our careers and started focusing on money and starting to make the changes and decisions that we can control. And that is in our career. So a lot of times you'll find black women that are super successful in their career and focus on everything else and have everything else going on except their love life. And so it's, it chronicles the 4 girls' lives. It shows the things that they're dealing with. And I just love that. I ate that up. So I love that. Like, I thought the whole idea was very realistic. So even in my own life, I find that I am such a go-getter when it comes to career, and I'll take all the risk because I know I can control those things. As far as money, my finances, and my career, I'm doing well. But in the whole aspect of relationships, it's not that I'm not doing well, but I'm also not putting myself out there because those are variables that I cannot control. And so sometimes, you heard the saying, you got to kiss a bunch of frogs before you catch a prince. And so sometimes, like, we find that there are a lot of frogs. And so you meet so many frogs and you're just thinking that everybody's a frog and they're not. But it's a super cool concept. I love the show. So the main character is Camille. She's a teacher, an adjunct teacher at Columbia University, and she teaches a humanities class. It's mostly about feminism, but I couldn't remember the name of the class. But she teaches that class, and so she's like, her class is something that I would have loved to take in college. But basically, she was dating this guy, and he wanted to move away and go to Paris. And she had agreed with it. But then she realized if she did go, she would be putting her career on pause so he can work on his dreams. And I think she realized that she probably didn't want to do that. So she decided to break up with him. And basically, she decided to go and work in her on her tenure. So long story short, she comes back and she still hasn't gotten the degree that she left him for. I mean, the position that she thought she was going to get while he left. And so it shows her battling with whether or not she believes that she made the right decision by letting him leave. And so it follows that. And then she has another friend who owns a clothing line, and she has another friend who's a LGBT, is in the LGBTQ community, and yeah, so her friend that is in the LGBTQ community owns a dating app for people in the LGBTQ community, but also people of color. So she's doing well with that, and they have another friend who's a struggling artist. And so they show their lives and the sacrifices they made and why they're still single, and it shows like how the dates they go on. And like every girl has like a dating horror story, and they're like, it's so crazy because like, obviously it's exaggerated. It's like a dramedy. It's over dramatized, but I could see that happening. Like I've had girlfriends and myself, we've been on crazy dates and we come back and we're like, yo, like guy didn't want to pay, or just a bunch of stuff that Black women we have to put up with and go through. And so I just love the fact that it's so accurate. Like, well, I guess it's accurate for me and my friends. I won't say it's for everyone, but I love the show. So if anyone hasn't watched it, I didn't give too much, I just gave background. I think you guys should watch it because I think it's so dope. If I reviewed shows, I would definitely review this show because I actually think I'm going to watch it again because it was just, and it talks about racism and the things like in the corporate America that we have to deal with. Like being a Black woman, you have to be the best at your game. And it shows up so many times because you cannot be mediocre at all. You had to come in like with all of these accolades when your colleagues probably don't even have half the things you have, but because you may have all of the accolades in the world and still be considered mediocre as a Black woman. And so it talks about that. It talks about owning your own business and, the struggles of that. And it's just like, trying to follow your dreams and being true to who you are, or choosing to not follow your dreams and just doing what is convenient. So yeah, I think every person has gone through this. When you don't have the luxury of money, you have to do certain jobs that pay the bills. But you come across a crossroads at some point, like, do I follow my passion or do I follow the place that is going to pay my bills and I'm going to be comfortable? And so you see them come across that a lot. And, a lot of people will say like taking the job that pays the bills is a safe way out because if you follow your dreams, it's going to pay your bills eventually. But then it's like, how far are you going to take it? Are you going to be sleeping in your car? Or are you going to get a job and see what you can do part-time? It's a lot. So I think some of the subjects that come up with a lot of people, millennials, and we're figuring it out, but I loved everything about it. So another show I wanted to talk about was, what is it? Porsha Family Matters. So it's about Porsha and chronicling her life after she got engaged to Simon Guidaboa. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but so Porsha in episode 2 has like some kind of barbecue at her house, and she has her family there. You see a lot of her aunts, her sister, her cousin, her mom, her grandmother, and of course Dennis and his mother come. And of course Simon is there as well. And Porsha's grandmother was saying something along the lines like, she has a son that's similar to Dennis, and that her son loved women, and he essentially saying that Dennis was a player. So Dennis's mom, like, I guess she was offended by all of it and was like, no, basically like, so I really just wanted to talk about that because I thought that thing was crazy. First of all, Dennis's mom is going in. Oh, and she obviously meets Porsha at the end of the show because Porsha's trying to figure out if she's going to allow her to come on this retreat. But obviously she's going to come on the retreat because she's bringing the drama. But why did Dennis's mom go so crazy on Porsha as if her son was not in the headlines with many women? And she tried to insinuate that Porsha cheated. And whether Porsha cheated or not, I'm all about equality. So if you giving it up like that, you deserve for somebody to do it to you. And so she's like making all these excuses about her son and her son and this and her son that, and Porsha ain't so perfect. And she mentioned Porsha's mom told her that Porsha was cheating. So I want to talk about how a lot of mothers really coddle their sons. Like, the fact of the matter is, your son did a lot of things to Porsha while they were engaged. He was caught. He embarrassed her publicly. And to me, like, sometimes you can do a lot, but to deal with it publicly is so hard, period. And when you're in a relationship, it's in the public eye, it makes it 10 times harder. But for you to get caught with many women, it was all over the blogs. They had pictures. It was proof that he was not being faithful to her. And so when someone talks, and I get it, you defend your son or whatever, but your son is a player. Your son does like women, and your son was not good to her. And so when she's in a new relationship, which I'm not saying that this guy is better, but when she's in a new relationship, why make excuses for your son? Why not tell your son, hey, you really messed this up? And I'm just trying to figure out why these mothers and women literally make excuses for bad behavior. Your son did something, and he was irresponsible. And, he's young. Obviously, you don't want to be with her. You shouldn't have proposed to her. But you made a mistake and you lost the girl. Now, your mom's making excuses as if you were the perfect angel. No. And a lot of women, they are okay with cheating. And that's fine if you're okay with cheating. But clearly, Porsha isn't okay. And so that's why she made an executive decision in her life to move on from this guy. So why are you making excuses for her and trying to find blame in her? Because your son screwed up. You should be holding your son accountable for the things that he did do in this relationship that the world saw him do. But yet you're trying to chastise the woman. So it's just ironic to me that these single women they really just coddle their sons. Like these single mothers, it's like, yo, hold him accountable. I really feel like they're partly to blame. The reason why your son is the way that he is and the reason why he thinks that he can get away with the things that he's done is because you have been coddling him all this time. You have not held him accountable, and you're blaming the woman. So what was Porsha supposed to do? Stick around? She's supposed to stick around for this. And not to say that this guy Simon is any better, because I feel like this is going to be a train wreck in itself. But hold your son accountable. And you're on TV doing this, and everybody's like, it was all over the blogs what Dennis was doing. But she wanted to find fault in Porsha, and it was like, okay, if Porsha is on a break with your son and she decides to date someone else, that's not cheating. They're on a break. And when he was cheating, they weren't on a break. So on the same standards that your son stood on, it's not cheating. So should she stick with your son? That's a choice that she should make if she's comfortable with. But if Porsha wants to stick around for this, it is her prerogative. But to blame her for this, and for some reason, I really believe the mom. Like, I really believe she feels this way. So it was just really ironic to see that. And I also saw it with Love and Marriage Huntsville with Martell's mom. Like, you're making excuses for bad behavior. Your son cheated on Melody, had an outside baby, while Melanie just had a baby herself. But you're making excuses. Oh, Melanie, this... Bruh. Your son messed up and you need to tell him that. Stop trying to blame the woman. Women don't want to stay. Everybody doesn't want to stay. That's like the old school black women from back in the day that stay with cheating men. These millennials will leave you and take you for everything you've got. The story for me is, let's hold these men accountable. When you have families and you have children, it's nothing wrong when you don't want to stay in the relationship, but to be cheating and publicly and just doing a whole bunch of stuff in your celebrity that is causing the person that you're with strife, and then being mad at them when they move on. Let's hold these men accountable, moms. Like, you were the first education that they've gotten, and it just shows why they act the way that they act, because when you make excuses for bad behavior, you foster a certain attitude. And if I ever had a son, I promise you my son would know gender roles, and I would let him know, like, you're going to make mistakes, but don't ever think that you don't have to pay for your mistakes. Like, you will pay for your mistakes, and you do something wrong, you're not going to be rewarded with bad behavior. Okay, guys, that was my rant for today. And so, I'll be back tomorrow with another video, but I wanted to touch on those things because I just feel like the world is just nuts when it comes to guys. Like, they want women to accept all this terrible behavior, and they want us to just sit back and take it. And it's like, no, we're not taking it. We're enlightened. We're not taking that anymore. And we are going to push on and move on to the next. And if you have a problem with that, that's on you. But I'm just happy that I've have a lot of good shows to watch because, you know, I was in a little drought, but all of the shows are pretty good. And hopefully you guys can watch some of these shows and let me know what you think in the comments. But I'll be back with another video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you later.